Once inside the plane, Yves Rossy and his team seem incredibly relaxed. The sun is shining, and more importantly, there's a gentle tailwind as the launch plane takes off into beautiful blue sky. It will take around 10 minutes to climb and cruise to the 8,000 feet launch altitude above Calais' Blériot beach. But despite perfect weather and favorable winds, Jetman and his crew have another tricky maneuver to master before the jump can begin. Safely igniting the jet wing's engines inside the aircraft and keeping them on. A stall could be disastrous. It's one of a series of steps they've rehearsed time and time again in short test flights at home over the Swiss Alps. But only one of these test flights has lasted longer than 8 minutes. It's estimated he'll have to fly from 12 to 13 minutes to make it to Dover and make his dream. Now, the beautiful cross-channel goal is in sight, as the jump point looms 8,000 feet above the French coast. The 4-turbine jet engines are fired up and left to idle. Only after he's leapt out the aircraft will he open the throttle and achieve the thrust that will propel him towards Dover at around 200 kilometers an hour. Jetman Yves Rossy is at last ready to jump. On his way out, the crew ensures that Jetman and his wing are clear of any snags. At this height, with the engines on and tanks full, there's little margin for error. Jetman is go. But is he falling or flying? Once clear, he'll have to make a perfect 90-degree turn towards the English coast. But without a compass, he's relying on the pilot of his jump plane to fly ahead and set a course for Dover. Under a wing that's prone to stall and spin out of control, Jetman will need all his skill and muscle control to make a world first.
A historic flight has begun.
With the white cliffs of Dover in sight, Jetman Yves Rossy is on course to be the first person to cross the channel using a single jet-powered wing and gain a place in aviation history.
Unbelievable.
Well, he looks like he's got it well in hand. That looks like a nice, stable flight. And he looks to be, I don't know, I would say a fifth of the way out there.
That's right. He's got 26 kilometers to go is what we're hearing. He's at, by my count, 2 minutes and 45 seconds.
He is alone out there. Literally a man and a wing.
You got to think that he just feels on top of the world. Look at that. Now, this is a shot of Dover.
This looks like Dover. Yeah, these are the people watching. Obviously, you know, yesterday with this, I think we, you know, I don't know how many people were out yesterday, but I think that this attempt yesterday and the fact that he called it off, and it's such a beautiful day there. So many have shown up to welcome him in, to welcome history in.
Absolutely. I mean, just what a majestic shot. Now, we're just getting some pictures in here, and it looked like, well, there's Yves, and I think off the top of our screen we had the Pilatus porter as well, guiding him in, his right-hand man, Jean-Marc Cohen, as well.
Well, again, in these images, you know, hard to say, we would love to get in closer, love to give you some very close shots. However, there's a very real threat, I think, Nick, to Yves if that camera chopper gets too close to him.
Well, you have to imagine that should anything go wrong with Yves, these helicopters have to be far enough away that there's no risk of collision. And if he were to get into the downwash of those helicopter blades, it could be really bad news for him, and of course keeping it safe. Now, it looks like he's past the halfway point right now. If I'm reading that correctly, 14 kilometers away.
That's it. A little 14.1 is what our map is showing. 14.1 kilometers to go. So he is, wow, he is making
Aided by a tailwind, Jetman Yves Rossy not only makes it above land, but has fuel to spare to make a flamboyant turn over Dover.
Everybody else was nervous, asking him, was he scared, was he worried, was he regretting making such a bold statement? And Yves Rossy said, not at all. I was born to do this.
Look at that.
Well, you know, this man is a lifelong thrill seeker. He has years of experience as a skydiver, a hang glider, a paraglider, an aerial stuntman, and a water skier.
A self-confessed slave to passion for pure flight, the fighter pilot, skydiver, and adventurer Yves Rossy has also become an aviation pioneer.
Parachute deploying now. And this is almost mission accomplished, really. We'll wait and see how...
With his parachute deployed, a safe landing should be no problem for the experienced skydiver who has performed these kind of maneuvers hundreds of times.
Run this out with that on his back. Now, obviously, this man has exquisite skill when it comes to skydiving.
Oh, absolutely. That's right. You can see him there just coming in. You're going to see when he lands down, he'll try to land into wind. A couple of spirals for the audience there as well. And once he touches down, I think he'll be a very happy man. And of course, all of us so excited.
Broadcasting live, television crews from around the world follow Jetman's every move as he gently spirals towards the ground. With his jet wings still attached to his shoulders, a homemade contraption that's carried him over the channel and into the record books with a world first.
Yes, he's done it. For a moment there, we were worried. We thought he would end up in the water, but no, Yves Rossy, as he said yesterday, confidently predicted he would land on English soil, and I think he'll be a very, very relieved man, and he might even end up in someone's garden the way he's going, Chris.
But the gardeners of Dover needn't have worried. With typical Swiss precision, Jetman Yves Rossy lands within meters of a welcoming crowd kept at bay by police.
He's down.
Field,
there he is.
And there he is.
There he is. Yves Rossy has landed in England after, if we could get an official time on that flight, that would be terrific.
Before deploying his parachute, he covered the distance from Calais to Dover in a staggering 8 minutes and 36 seconds. Smashing the estimated flight time of 12 to 13 minutes with a little fuel to spare.
He's done it.
Many years of work, and that's it.
A couple of his close friends coming over to meet him.
Just a tribute. Look, this guy has worked for years. A dream, starting with a dream inspired by an air show when he was a child.
After the celebrations are over, Jetman Yves Rossy will carry on his mission to improve the performance of his jet wing. If this intrepid Swiss adventurer and aviator gets his way, this historic channel crossing will be the first of many milestones he hopes to achieve with his ingenious homemade wing.